So we are starting with a problem in the design procedure for shear with inclined stirrups. Let's look at the problem. The problem goes like this. A rectangular beam 250 mm wide, 450 mm effective depth carries an UDL uniformly distributed load of 40 kN per meter under working condition inclusive of self weight. The beam is reinforced with 3 bars of 16 mm diameters, out of which one bar, the middle bar, is curtailed before the supports. That means only 2 bars of 16 mm diameter are proceeding going within the supports. The beam is simply supported over an effective span of 3 meters. M20 concrete and Fe415 steel are used for the beam. Design the beam for maximum shear force with inclined stirrups. Now over here we have been told that the stirrups to be used are inclined stirrups. With the data, we go ahead with the solution like this. Width B is equal to 250 mm, the effective depth 450 mm, W, that is a small w, is 40 kilonewton per meter. AST, the area of steel given at the midspan, is 3 torr 16, but at the support one bar is not there, so it becomes 2 torr 16 as far as our shear is concerned. It is a simply supported beam where effective span L is 3 meters. M20 concrete and Fe415 steel are being prescribed. We have to design for shear with inclined stirrups. Step number 1. Calculate the value of ultimate shear force. Now we know that the shear force acts at the support. The maximum shear force is always at the support. For a simply supported beam with UDL, the reaction is WL by 2. So VU will be this W multiplied by the load factor, that is 1.5. So 1.5 into 40 into 3 by 2. So that gives us VU, which is equal to 90 kilonewton. Please note over here 40 has been multiplied by 1.5 to make it ultimate. Otherwise the VU which we would be getting would be the the VU which we would be getting would be the working load, the working shear force, the service shear force. Now in this case this becomes the ultimate shear force. So ultimate shear force is 90 kilonewton. Let's proceed to step number 2. In step number 2, calculate the value of the nominal shear stress. The nominal shear stress is tau V. Tau V. So the clause 40.1 given on page number 72 of the code clearly says that tau V is equal to VU upon BD. Please note, as mentioned earlier, there is a mistake over here. It is B into D over here, not B with the suffix as D, but it is B into D. So VU upon BD. So VU has already been calculated as 90 kilonewton. So we are converting it to newtons. So 90 into 10 raised to 3, because these are in mm. B is 250 mm, D is 450 mm. So we get tau V as 0.8 Newton per mm square. The value of tau V, the value of the nominal shear stress, is 0.8 Newton per mm square. This is what we have got. Now let's proceed to step number 3. Now in step number 3, we are trying to find out the value of tau C max. Please note that this procedure goes exactly in the similar lines as the procedure for vertical stirrups. So finding the value of tau C max from table 20, this has been given on page number 73 of the code, that is IS 456 2000. Now in order to refer to the code, we need to know what type of concrete we are using. The concrete we are using is M20. So for M20 concrete it is 2.8. So tau C max for M20 concrete is 2.8. Immediately we go to the step number 4. Step number 4 says compare tau C max and tau V. Tau C max is 2.8. Tau V we have calculated earlier is 0.8. So tau C max, which is 2.8 Newton per mm square, is greater than tau V, which is 0.8 Newton per mm square. Please note one thing. If tau C max was less than tau V, we would not have had any other option other than redesigning the section. Now in this case we are happy that tau C max is greater than tau V, so we are going to step number 5. In step number 5, if tau C max is greater than tau V, we find the value of tau c. Let me remind again over here, tau c max is the maximum capability before the concrete would actually shear. Maximum capability of concrete in the beam, the core concrete in the beam, before it would shear. It cannot take more than this. Even if we provide reinforcement, the concrete will not be able to take this. The concrete would crush. That is tau c max. Tau c is its inherent capacity because of the environment, like because of the steel provided over there, because of the grade of concrete which is existing over there, good compaction which is done, a good packing which is done. So that is tau c. Tau c is its own capability now with whatever things it is having. So how much is the reinforcement provided? So based on that. So in order to find out the value of tau c, the code says we have to look at the value of area of steel provided in flexural tension continuing at least one effective depth from the section considered. So over here we have to consider 2 bars of 16 which are going to the support. 2 bars of 16 give me the area of steel as 402 mm square. So area of steel is 402 mm square. Find 100 AS upon BD. What we are interested in is 100 AS upon BD. 100 into 402, B is 250, D is 450. So we get 100 AS upon BD as 0.36. So we look at the table. We have M20 grade concrete and I'm interested in 0.36. So 0.36 value would be falling in between these two, 0.25 and 0.5. 0.36 is somewhere over here. So for 0.25 the value is 0.36 and 0.5 the value is 0.48. So somewhere in between these two the value would be there. So that is what we have got. Now we need to interpolate to get the value. So for 0.25 it is 0.36, for 0.5 it is 0.48. The interpolation to get the value of 0.36 would be like this: smaller value plus the difference between these divided by, in the same sequence, difference over here. This difference was 0.48 minus 0.36. This is 0.5 minus 0.25. That's what we have got, multiplied by what I'm supposed to get of minus the smaller one. So 0.36 plus difference between these two is 0.12. This difference is always 0.25 multiplied by the difference between what I want and the lower one is 0.11. So I get 0.36. This comes to 0.48 into 0.11. So finally solving this, I get tau c as 0.412. The value of tau c comes as 0.412 Newton per mm square. Now the understanding is that why we interpolate, we consider that this is a straight line graph. In between this and this there is a straight line, there is a straight line over here. So that's the way we have interpolated and we have got the value of tau c as 0.412. Immediately after step 5 is over, we go to step 6. Now step 6 says compare the value of tau c and tau v. Now tau c over here is 0.412 and tau v is 0.8. So tau c is less than tau v. We observe that the inherent capacity of the beam, its own capability, the beam's own capability is lesser to resist the nominal shear stress coming on the beam at the worst section. If that is the thing, we look at step 7, then we go to step 7b, because tau v is greater than tau c. In tau v greater than tau c, provide shear stirrups. So because its own capability is lesser than the nominal shear stress, we need to reinforce it with shear reinforcement. So provide shear stirrups. So assume the diameter of the stirrups and the number of legs. So let us assume, as in the other case, 2 legs and the diameter to be 8 mm. So assume 2 legged 8 mm diameter not vertical, inclined stirrups, not vertical, inclined stirrups. So calculate VUS. That's the first step in this. How much shear force the stirrups, the inclined stirrups, is supposed to take, that we need to calculate. So calculate VUS, which is equal to VU minus tau c BD. This is exactly same as what we have done for vertical stirrups. So that is VUS is equal to 90 into 10 raised to 3 minus tau c, which we have got over here, 0.412 into BD. So VUS is equal to 90 into 10 raised to 3 minus This value comes down to 46.309 into 10 raised to 3. So VUS comes to 43.690 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. So we have to provide the inclined shear stirrups to resist a shear force of 43.690 into 10 raised to 3 Newtons. So we are calculating the value of ASV. ASV is calculated as 2 legs and pi d square by 4. So 2 into pi d square, d is 8. So we get area of shear stirrups is 100 mm square. Now this is the most important part. Calculate the spacing of the inclined stirrups from the equation given for, sorry, not vertical, inclined stirrups in this on page number, so this is C over here, sorry, B on page number 72-73. Correct, this is B on 72-73. Assume the angle of inclination of stirrups. Now this is totally in the hands of the engineer, as I have said. So we are assuming that angle is 45 degrees. We are assuming that the inclined stirrups would be placed at 45 degrees, at an inclination of 45 degrees. So that is what we have assumed over here. So for inclined stirrups given on page number 73 of the code, the formula is VUS is equal to 0.87. There is a mistake over here. This is 0.87 Fy ASV into D upon SV, the whole thing multiplied by sine alpha plus cos alpha. So this is the value which we had got of VUS, that is 43.690 into 10 raised to 3 will be equal to 0.87415, that's 100. D is 450, sine 45 degrees plus cos 45 degrees divided by SV. So from here we get the value of SV as 514.7 mm, 514.7 mm. Having done this, we have to go back to clause number 26, main clause 26, to provide minimum shear reinforcement. Give a check for provision of minimum shear reinforcement. Clause 26.5.1.6, page 48. ASV upon BSV is greater than or equal to 0.4 upon 0.87 Fy. 100, that is ASV is 100, B is 250, SV we are trying to find out is greater than or equal to 0.4 upon 0.87 Fy. SV is less than or equal to 363.11 mm. On the same page and the previous page we have another one. Check for maximum spacing. We cannot exceed more than this given over there. Maximum spacing, note this, the maximum spacing shall not exceed 0.75 D for vertical stirrups and D for inclined stirrups. So for inclined stirrups, SV will be D, so SV will be equal to effective depth, where D is the effective depth of the section. In no case it will be exceeding 300 mm. In no case it will be exceeding 300 mm. Now out of all this, which is the smaller one? We have 300 over here, we have 450 over here, we have 363 over here, and calculated one is 514.7. The least one is 300 mm. So provide two-legged 8 mm dia stirrups. In this case they are inclined stirrups at 250 mm center to center. So in this case we are providing the stirrups, that is two-legged 8 mm stirrups at 250 mm center to center. They are inclined.